What's up, Epic Gamers, and welcome to Playing More Games My Fans Suggest. This time, the games were chosen by a user named Confusion77, so thank you for the suggestion. There were 4 games suggested, but since I already played Grow Garden, I'll cross that one off. And I guess we'll start with Forsaken then. I will also be rating the games on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, I have heard of Forsaken before, but I haven't played it, so this will be my first time. My goal for this game was to win one round either as the survivor or as the killer. In my first game, I was a survivor and I ran around fixing generators like a normal survivor would. We actually won our first game, which I was pretty surprised since I didn't even see the killer at all, but later on I will find out why. In my third game, I was actually the killer, and I'm gonna warn you guys are about to become a bystander because I was getting bullied. I didn't even know what my moves did, and half my moves were blocked by my recording overlay, so I didn't even know what buttons to press. And also, the survivors were taunting me, and they were using their block move, which I didn't know how to counter, so we're moving on to the ratings. I rate Forsaken an 8.5 out of 10 because I like the animations and character design that were inspired by Roblox lore. I also like how they expanded on the asymmetrical horror genre, as they gave the survivors more abilities to fight back with. The next game on the list is Prospecting, so let's go to that. Prospecting is a fish-inspired game, but instead of using a fishing rod to catch fish, you use a pan and shovel to dig at deposits, and then you wash out the sand at the river, which then exposes the ores within. And the first step was to buy the best pan and shovel at the beginner area. Unfortunately, my laptop shut down because I forgot to charge it, so I'll put Prospecting on hold, and we'll move on to in-game. In-game was inspired by the Netflix TV show Squid Game, where you're the— wait, why am I explaining in-game? You guys know what it is. I don't have to explain it. I guess I'll just show you all my games and show you where I lost, because clearly I didn't win. The first game was red light, green light, and I was doing so good at holding the shift button, but then my brain stopped working, and then I started walking when it was red light. But luckily, a bacon hair was high enough to carry me to the finish line, so big thanks to that guy. The next game is the cookie cutting game, and I got the triangle, which isn't too hard to cut, so I easily beat it and moved on to the next game. Before the next game, I learned that I had an infinite supply of cookies, so I started to drop them all. The guards were also giving out free food, and when I was lining up, someone pushed me, so I'm gonna write a really mean email to Roblox because of that. I also turned off the lights for us to go to sleep, but no one else was sleeping for some reason. The next game was hide and seek, and I was chosen to be a part of the red team. And I couldn't find anyone even if my life depended on it, and it did because I lost. I rate in-games a 9 out of 10 because I really like the animation and replayability features like being able to upgrade your character with in-game currency. I also assume that the game is much more enjoyable when playing with friends. Now let's go back to prospecting. After some off-camera mining, I had enough to buy the best pan in the beginner area and decided to move on to the next town because the shell was too expensive. I talked to every NPC in a new town and accepted their quest, and conveniently this engineer wanted 2 ores for $1,000,000, so that was my main objective. After over an hour of grinding, I finally found the 2 ores and submitted it to the engineer and met my goal of $1,000,000. Prospecting also does admin abuses, but I don't know if they have a set time or date. I rate prospecting a 9.5 out of 10 because I like the gathering sand and sifting it through the river component. I also like how they incorporated many different elements from popular games like Grow Garden and Fish. I also like how straightforward the game is compared to Fish. In conclusion, those ratings are my own opinions, so if you have different opinions, please leave them down below in the comments. And while you're down there, I'm still open for game suggestions. Other than that, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.